Hello, I wanted to add a little bit of information to our last welcome video, specifically about two other assignments that I touched on, but I didn't quite mention that they were due this week. So one is talking about finding a student, and I gave you all of the details about finding that student in the last video, so I won't repeat myself there, but that is due this week. So you need to create your own permission slip for this student. There's not a canned permission slip that you use because this isn't a field study experience for you. So just make your own permission slip. Let me know what days you'll be meeting and what times, and have the parent sign it, and maybe have a sentence in there about how they plan to be with you for the whole 12 weeks of this course or something like that, so that the parent knows that this isn't just a one-time deal. They're going to be meeting with you every week with their child. So that permission slip is due this week to find a student. And then also one thing that I did not mention was an assessment chart. Now, the assessment chart is just going to be a graphic organizer. It's a way to organize all the information that you're going to be learning in this class, because we are going to talk about so many different assessments, and they may or may not apply to the child that you are tutoring. I mean, if you have a 4-year-old, you may not be doing some of these higher level spelling tests or reading tests, but if you have a student in 3rd grade, well, then you may not be giving them some of those concepts about print tests that are more appropriate for preschoolers. So what we're doing with this assessment chart is every time you're doing your reading for the class, for this week's module and every module after this, that you find out and read about another new assessment that you haven't heard before, you are going to add it to your assessment chart. And I have already told you what the headings of each different column need to be. So if you learn about concepts of print, you write concepts about print, and then you say a little blurb about what this test tests and how to give the test, and then maybe the different materials you need for this test. The reason we're making this chart is when you become a teacher, we use a lot of educational jargon and acronyms, and so when somebody says, oh, we'll be giving the CAPS test today, and you don't know what that is, you can say, oh, I can go right back to my reading assessment chart, look on there, CAP test, that's the same thing as concepts about print, I know what that is, I know what it tests, I know how to give it, I'm ready to go. So this is just a general chart. It is not specific to the child that you are tutoring. So just because you don't think that the test applies to the child you are tutoring, it doesn't matter. It needs to go on the assessment chart, and I will be collecting this just a few different times throughout the course just to make sure we're all on the same page with these tests. One thing I do want to mention is that this is a course about reading assessments, not any other kind of assessment. So sometimes in education we'll use terms interchangeably. I've noticed that you may have another class where you did running records, where you observed a child and you wrote down everything they did. That is different from a running record of reading. So when you're reading about running records in your text, make sure that you are answering the questions as it applies to reading. If you talk about a different type of running record, that's going to be incorrect as it applies to this class. So we're talking about literacy here. So keep that in mind. So that means that this week you have a discussion. You need to turn in your contract. I need a permission form for that you found a student that meets all the different requirements. Remember, ELL is a good thing and saves you time. And then, of course, the assessment chart. That's 4 things. They're not really big things, but also you do need to do them all this week and have them turned in by Sunday at midnight. So just wanted to add a little bit of more information about that. I also wanted to let you know that I've provided an example of an assessment chart just in case there is any more confusion after this explanation, and it even has a couple of them done for you. So I've done a little bit of the work for you. You just need to add in the rest once as the class goes on. And of course, this is going to be a huge help to you when it comes time for the midterms. So keep that up to date, and it's going to help you as a teacher. It's also going to help you in this class. Thank you very much, and I look forward to working with you.